This right here is the best Apple has ever made in their entire history.
I'm sad, but I don't cry. I care, but you don't mind.
It's one of these perfect days for music making here in the harbor. It's cold, it's raining a tiny bit, and I'm really thrilled to be back at the studio because I spent the first 2 hours of my day actually at home further constructing an IKEA kitchen, which is by far the most annoying part ever. Plus, all of this shit right here. That's like all of the packaging. We got someone new in our team, Leroy. He is an intern for 2-3 more months. Yeah. And Leroy is such a cool name. Do you know Leroy Jenkins?
Of course.
Okay. I got a package. I didn't order it, so quick random unboxing. Looks fancy. Can you hear that? There's something going on outside. Someone's screaming. Ooh. Headphones. Not that I need any more headphones, but also doesn't really hurt. By the way, this is not sponsored. Companies just sometimes send me stuff, which is kind of nice. I really don't know what's happening outside. Oh, okay. You see these guys? They tried to put this steel up onto that crane right there, and they scream a lot. I don't know why. They also smoke a lot and throw their cigarettes everywhere, and they pee everywhere. I don't know why, but like every time I'm looking out the window, one of them is peeing somewhere just out in the open. I mean, I don't really mind, but that steel is like, it's so heavy. Like one of these bars is like just the very tiny ones are a ton, and the very, very big ones, you see these right there, are 12 tons. And again, the small ones, a ton, which is maybe the only a little bit annoying part about my studio, because they sometimes make noise, but in the vocal booth you usually don't hear it. And they stop working. You see that kind of noise? They stop working usually after like 2 p.m. And that's usually when I start. My very first Mac ever, I got it with 13. Haven't turned it on in a long while. I'm on a mission trying to find my very first song. I talked about it yesterday briefly and wanted to play it to you, but it's on there, so fingers crossed it still turns on. That sound, I haven't heard it in a while. Looks good so far. By the way, the design, still like, after all of these years, I just love it. That's so old school. The booting takes forever, but the mouse works. Wow. I forgot how loud these machines are. You can hear every little bit of processing. I feel kind of bad that I'm complaining that much about my MacBook that has like these very loud spinning fans. This is like way more annoying. That's like time traveling. On the desktop, Caesar 3, that's like a Rome strategy kind of game. I love that. And You Don't Know Jack 2. Also, amazing quiz show kind of game. But it looks like I wiped this computer. There's not really anything on it. LimeWire. No, like, there were my parents as a user. We shared this machine. My part, I deleted it. Photoshop 7. Wow. Toast Titanium, yes. I used to be burning CDs. I love that song. Speakers are not bad, but the screen, guys, the screen. The screen sucks so hard. You can see every single pixel, no problem. And the bezels and the glass. That's crazy. But yeah, unfortunately, no music on here. But there is also option number 2. This right here is the best Apple has ever made in their entire history. That's the very first G5 Tower Mac Pro. It's a beast. Like, this lasted me over 10 years of producing music, Photoshop, video editing. Everything happened on here. This is really my favorite by far. The only reason I switched is because like the new Mac OS doesn't support the G5s, only Intel processors. So I had to retire it, but I'm still using it to access like old music, old project files, like stuff I've been working on. If anyone needs some remix parts, whatever, it's still here. I'm not sure if it still works. This one also, at least 4 years not in use. So let's hope for the best. That didn't sound really that good. You see right here, I click, goes on, and immediately off again. Nothing. This sucks quite hard, but let's see. Not that I have any clue about the inside, but it looks beautiful. Like, there is no Mac that looks this nice. By the way, let's shut off that old iMac. That sound is really annoying. Wow, what a relief. But yeah, the processor's full cooling. It's weird how Apple already made the perfect machine like 15 years ago, and now they're going back to making this same exact design. There's a red light flashing. I really don't know what it is. Maybe someone of you knows what this could be. Maybe it's the power, because it doesn't even turn on. Right here, pressing it again. Just that red light, really quick. That's really a bummer. I was hoping to show you some of my old music and just laugh about it, because it was horrible back then. As every music producer, you start out with producing shit that you think is a hit, and then you play it to someone, and they tell you it's shit, and then you realize that it's shit, and then you do it all over again, and this takes then 10 years, and 10 years later I'm finally like a full-time music producer and DJ. But yeah, these machines enabled me to do so. Very unfortunate that that one has no data on it, and that one just doesn't turn on. I'll try in the upcoming days to like get the data at least out of this machine and plug it in, but yeah. At least this is kind of like a Mac best of history video, kind of. By the way, I found even more Macs. These are all like the Mac, what were they called? Just MacBooks, yeah. These are the worst Apple has ever made. I used to use them for DJing, and that's why they look this bad. At least I had a replaceable battery on the back. But yeah, I think none of these actually work anymore, and even if they would work, I don't have like the charging cables. They were like very special and weird. So if you ask me, like the best Mac of all time, I would go with the iMac. This was the very first computer that was like specifically made for consumer to just work with a computer and have internet access. Back then, of course, very, very slow, because my previous computer, I had one before the iMac, a Siemens Nixdorf Windows 95 computer. That was nerdy. You had to like buy all of the parts, put it together, external monitor, you had to buy cards to be able to use the internet. You had to buy a special card to have even sound on it. It didn't come with like a speaker or like a headphone jack, nothing. For me personally, this machine enabled me to start gaming, which was maybe a bad thing, but also gaming teaches you certain stuff and computer skills that are very important nowadays. It enabled me to use Photoshop and enabled me to use Logic, a very, very old Logic version that barely worked on this machine. internet, LimeWire, all that good stuff. This is like my first true computer experience, and everything I do today started with that machine. So I'm very happy and glad about it. And I'm also really happy that Apple is now finally getting back to the roots. The new 16-inch MacBook Pro is really good, except for that audio pop kind of thing, but this just happens to some people. And the new Mac Pro, very, very expensive, but it's finally a pro machine again. Anyways, back to work, back to music making. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, there's still a lot of garbage in the bag.
There's one next to our apartment.
Yeah, but that's like too much for...
There are two. So we can...
Maybe first the DIY store?
We do that tonight.
Yeah?
Okay, so hurry, but not the paper thing then.
Oh, okay. That's nothing old, that's something brand new. One of my favorite new album songs. I found the old stuff. The really old stuff. We're talking 2012. It's actually not that bad. I mean, it doesn't sound polished or refined, but musically everything is there. Classic progressive house song. That's pretty bad because it's pretty boring. But I think all of these songs are maybe something for tomorrow because there are so many of them and it's already quite late. Because we had like 20 people here in this apartment because we're leaving, it's empty, someone else taking over. And so many people were interested and really desperate, like the market here in Germany and Düsseldorf is crazy. Like it's so hard to find a place. People were begging basically to get this place. So yeah, tomorrow we'll listen to more bad songs. No, tomorrow actually, no. The day after tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm having a recording session in the studio. So if you're interested to see how someone is recording someone and what I'm recording and the next song that I'm working on, tune in. And then the day after we'll listen to some old and shitty Jon Sine music. And there's even some really deep techno stuff that I've made.